So, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, yes, please.
I, yeah, and one more thing, this is just an alumni talk, so I'm just like your senior. So feel free to ask any questions or stop me at some time if you have any doubts. And I totally want this conversation to be like two-way. It's not that I'll be talking the whole time and you're just listening. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, guys, as she has mentioned rightly, please let it be an interactive session. Okay, any doubts you have, even with regard to placements or anything as such, kindly ask her. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have prepared a very small and short PPT just to sum up my talk. So as ma'am mentioned, I'm a 2015 batch pass out. I'm basically from Kundapur and started my career in Mysore, and now I'm settled in Bangalore since 2 years. So yeah, I was also a ISE student. Now, coming next to my professional experience, as you can see there in the image, that's how I work. Like, I work with multiple devices, testing them on different platforms, Android, iOS, and yeah, my desk is filled with all the different kinds of devices for testing. So, starting with Infosys, yes, and as you guys know, when you join Infosys, the first thing that you have is a training program, which is a very good training program provided by Infosys. So I was a part of it. After that, I thought like teaching or training would be a good career option for me. So I joined as a trainer in education training assessment team. So once you are in your training, they'll if they have this opening for a trainer position, they'll just come to your class and they'll announce like this is an opening for a particular role. So if you are interested, there are certain criterias, and they'll also interview you asking why you want to be a trainer, because you are just a college grad, right, passed out. So how you can be a trainer in that case? So after meeting all those, yeah, they'll hire as a trainer. So there, as ma'am mentioned, many of my juniors from NITTE were my students in the class, and it was really delightful and fun teaching or training them. I won't say it's teaching. Training is more like I'll tell you what is this, or I'll just explain you the topic, and it's on you. You go yourself and learn that in depth. So yeah, it's a trainer job, not a teaching job where I'll tell you, okay, this is ABC, you should know this, and no, I won't be giving you every other detail. So I'll just tell you this is how it works, and you go yourself and experiment. So that was one of the wonderful journey in Infosys of a trainer one. And then I thought I should also work on some real life project to get hands-on experience. So after becoming a trainer, I also opted to become a developer. So there I got chance to work on many of the projects in Infosys, and I worked on a technology called Xamarin. So you guys might be aware that if you want to build an application in iOS, you usually go for Swift, Objective-C, and other such language. And then when it comes to Android, you use either Java or Kotlin or such technology, right? So here in Xamarin, if you know C Sharp, you can build application in both iOS as well as Android. So this is one of the strong technology and also trending, which is free now. It's owned by Microsoft. So in the end of the talk, I'll just give a very quick demo. So if you guys are willing to, I mean, scale up on Xamarin or do some little bit project on it, you can just go ahead and do it. So then after Infosys, I got an offer from Accenture for the same position again as a Xamarin developer. So there I worked on only one project in mobile application. After that, I got a chance to work on Microsoft Azure technology. So if you are in Accenture and if you are working in any Microsoft related technologies like C Sharp or Microsoft Excel or any other technologies, you'll be put under a special group in Accenture called Accenture Microsoft Business Group, AMBG they call it. So you have very good facilities in this. What happens is you'll get many license for free like Visual Studio, and you'll get all the certifications for free. So you might know Microsoft has various certifications starting from basic C sharp to the architect level cloud certification. So in Accenture, all those were free for the people who come under this group. So it was really a very good journey. As ma'am told, I was building a application which was already there in Microsoft, which is called Azure Demo Generator. So it was not open source, but Accenture people wanted to make it free, as in open source. So we were closely working with the Microsoft developers in developing this application. So it was a wonderful journey. There I also worked on PowerShell scripting and also all the other Microsoft cloud computing. Then from there, due to some reasons, I mean, I was really happy with all the companies which I have worked, to be frank. If I have switched the companies, it might be just because of maybe money, or sometimes if I'm not happy with the position that I was in. So then I moved to Xylem. So Xylem is as it's in the signs, you know, right? Xylem phloem. So it's Xylem water solution based company. So we have this pumps and other smart systems where water can be treated and reused. It can be also transported from one place to another. So we have all such products. And there again, currently I'm working as a mobile app developer for one of our own products. So this was just a brief of my career experience. Now the next slide is I have two images, one on the left and one on the right. Can you guys tell me what's the difference between these two? Guys, please go ahead, unmute yourself and talk. It's okay if you're wrong. As I said, I'm just your senior. So anyone, what you see on the right and what you see on the left, do you see any difference?
It's a mass recruiting and core companies.
Core companies and mass. Okay, that's good. You're close. And any other answer?
Product and service-based companies.
Yes, exactly. May I know your name?
Bhargavi.
Okay, cool. Also, it's exactly correct. Product based and service based. So I have experience working in both, so I can just briefly tell you the difference. So Infosys, Accenture, Cognizant, as you all know, they mass recruit. I mean, they usually provide service to their clients. I mean, they're not building something for their own. They have client to whom they bill, to whom they charge for building application. Both of my projects in Accenture and Infosys, the group of people were like almost 5 or 6 in a project. So I was a junior developer, there was a senior developer, there was a lead, and there was a manager. So it was like a group of 6 to 7 people handling a whole project, and we were billed by the client. So any changes if they make, for example, if I have a label saying hi, and if the client wants it hello, the company would go back and charge them extra for that. So that was like service based. As the name says, you're giving a service to the client. But you may ask that Tata and Wipro also has its own products, right? Like Tata, there are cars. Wipro, you can see bulbs and other products. So they have their own products as well. But IT perspective, they are mostly service based companies. Now coming to the product based, Xylem, as I said, we have our own products. So we build applications or products for our own company. And then coming to Flipkart, again, as you know, Flipkart is a product based. You might have ordered so many things from Flipkart so far. Facebook. Now coming to the last one, Google. It's very easy to know how this product based work. Google has so many products, right? So the people who are working in Google, they usually work for their own client. I mean, they themselves are the client. So in Xylem, my experience was, as I said, in Infosys there were 5 to 6 people because we charge the amount to the client. There are more people and the company gets more profit. But now when it comes to product base, it's like we are just 2 people handling the entire project. I mean, it's just 2 of us, me with almost 4.5, 5 years experience, and one more senior with the 6.5 years of experience. So trust me, there's so much learning. Initial days I struggled a lot because I was a junior most in Infosys and Accenture, and the work I was getting was kind of like easy, which could be done easily. But when I moved to Xylem, they expect you to do so many things. I mean, it doesn't matter how well you are or not, you should do the work. So but there is so much learning. So now I'm at least capable of handling an entire project on my own because of this experience. Again, there is no good or bad. From my perspective, I enjoyed working in all the 3 companies. I mean, also I'm enjoying the current one, but this is a broad difference between what is a product based and what is a service based. So was I clear? Do you guys have any doubt here? Okay, I believe there are no doubts. Now, going next, what's trending today? Yeah, don't tell me it's COVID-19. We all know it's there. So technology-wise, I have mentioned few of the technologies which are in demand, I can say, in today's IT. So first and the second one, artificial intelligence and machine learning. We all know it's also told worldwide that maybe after 2050 or so, there'll be very less human force and everything will be handled by the robots. So yes, and for that, artificial intelligence, AI and ML are the 2 important technologies which is trending. So if you have a bit knowledge on this and if you want to grow further, yes, there is a huge demand for it. Now coming to Python, Python is also a very strong language, I can say. So, and I got to know from Ashwini ma'am that you have it in your curriculum as well. But guys, just don't stop there. I mean, just don't learn whatever is there in the book or in the notes. So just go ahead, take some online courses and build some project and be at least have some more experience on Python, because even Python is very much trending these days. Then you can, if you wish to become a web developer, you can also go for Angular, React, or any other technologies like basics. Yes, you have to know HTML, CSS and JavaScript, but React and Angular are widely used in most of the companies these days. Now coming to Java, Java, I can say the demand is there all the time. I mean, most of the application front end, what you see will be Angular or React or any other mobile app. The back end will be Java most of the time. Even in my current project, we are using Java as a backend. But again, all these, whichever you learn in your curriculum, just don't stop there. Just go ahead and see industry perspective, what else you have to know there. Now coming to the next one, cross-platform app development like Xamarin. So as I said, I develop both Android and iOS. So what these companies do, instead of hiring a separate Android developer and a separate iOS developer, if you are a Xamarin developer, you can build application in both Android and iOS, and that too using C#. Isn't that cool? So Xamarin is one of the most used technology when it comes to cross-platform app development. Next, data science. Data will never end. You know that, right? Like you order a product, okay, it's there, you're creating a data. You watch a YouTube video, you're creating a data of history. So data never ends. So data science has a very good scope as well. Now, DevOps. So if you guys are not aware of it, let's explain in layman terms. So if you are a developer building a web and you made some changes. Now you have to wait until it's reflecting in your server, right? So these DevOps guys, they just do the development and operation, I mean continuous integration and continuous deployment. So you do the change, you just leave it to the DevOps, they'll deploy it to the server so that the user will get the change right then. So that is also one of the good add-on. And C Sharp, yes, as I said, C Sharp is a very vast and very in-depth technology, just like Java. So I know, like I remember even I used to have it in during my college days. But yes, there is so much to learn in C Sharp. And if you are willing to learn Xamarin, I would be happy to help using the C Sharp. Now, the other two that I mentioned, data structures and algorithm and OOPS concept. So you might think maybe, I don't know when you have OOPS now, like we used to have it in third or fourth sem, I guess. So don't think if it's done in the semester, it's done. No, data structures and algorithms with the OOPS concept never leaves you. Even now, when we take any interviews, right? So these are the two things we make sure we ask to all the candidates. Let them be freshers or the experienced. Let me give you one example. You guys know Paytm, right? Application Paytm. All of you might have used, which is widely used for all the payment related stuff. So one of my friend went to Paytm for an interview, and he was a Java guy, very like almost 4 years of experience in Java. So he went happily thinking they'll ask all the Java related questions and he could just ace the interview. So then the interview started and he got only 2 questions, and those were based on data structures and algorithms. So he was good at it, not that he was bad at data structure, but he couldn't solve it. I mean, he didn't meet the expectation what they were expecting him to do. So then the interviewer of Paytm just tapped on his back and said, dude, I guess you just have to go back, scale yourself in DS and come back and try it again. So you understood the importance of knowing DS even at this level in career for him. I mean, it's almost 4 years, but these two never goes. So you can refer this Geeks for Gays or any other online videos to know more about the DS and try to solve many logical questions or which are depending on all this. Like, just don't leave it to bubble sort, binary search and all that. Travel salesman, I can remember few of the ones that I studied. Just don't leave it there. Make sure you know DS and OOPS concept very well. So that is just about the technologies. Let me stop here. Do you guys have any doubt? Anything which I have told so far? Okay, I'll take it as a no, and let me move to the next slide. Okay, now I told so many things and you might think how to do it. I believe some of you already have started like learning things on your own and building your own projects. But people who haven't done it so far, it's never too late. I mean, just start it right away so that when your placements start, you will be knowing at least one new thing and you might have done some good projects. So there are so many online courses available in Udemy, Coursera, the ones that I have mentioned here. If you know it very well, then good. If not, please make a note of it. You can just create a free account, sign up for free, and choose any courses. So YouTube, earlier days, it was just to watch music, I mean, watch some songs or movies or so, right? So now YouTube has a very huge collection of all the technology related playlist videos. So you can just go through them and learn something new. Then learn new technology or programming language. As I said, it's never too late. Start today if you can and learn something new which is not there in your curriculum. If not, scale up very well in ones that are already there. Maybe build some mini projects, which is my next point, because it's not enough if you learn something, right? you have to showcase that you know it. So for that, yes, you need to build some mini project where you can explain what you have learned. Coming next, be updated with the technologies in the IT industry. So just don't sit there thinking whatever you are learning now it's trending. If you have some doubts, talk to someone like seniors or who are already in IT, and get to know what is in demand, because the market in coming days might be very strict when choosing people or when choosing candidates. So if you have good knowledge on the things that you're working on, any company or any interviewer would be happy to hire you. For example, if you know Python very well, or if you have learned like Angular, React, suppose he has a company where they are using Angular, he might think, right, so if I hire this person, he might be useful for other projects as well. So be updated with technologies and make sure you know at least what is it. I mean, it's not that you should know everything in depth, but when I say React and Angular, you should know what are they. At least you should know that, okay, they are the web technologies used. So just have a knowledge of everything, but make sure you go in depth and study at least one. This is a very important one. I get to interview so many people, but I reject many of them seeing their resume as well. So let me give you two instances. One where a person said he has 3 years of experience, and he mentioned he has worked on 25 projects in his career. So that was like shocking. Maybe he has just worked on a project in a month or so, which is impossible. That to Xamarin, he says. That was, I could easily understand that it's fake. I mean, 25 projects in 3 years, it's impossible. And but still, we went ahead and we interviewed him and we asked him how he did it. But the answer what we got, we understood that it was totally fake. Now there was one more person. What he did is he has copied some big phrases and paragraph entirely from a blog which is related to Apple and Microsoft or other companies, and he has pasted it in his resume, claiming that he has built that application. So now when I saw that English, we thought it might not be true. So what we did, we just copied the entire sentence, we pasted it in the Google, and the result came is of a blog which is written by someone related to these company. So it was completely fake. So for you who are, for anyone who's going for an interview, you and interviewer are unknowns. I mean, you don't know each other, right? So your resume is the first thing, and it's like a mirror of you. It says what you are and what you know. So make sure whatever you write in your resume, you are aware of it. You just don't fake things like you have worked on this project, that project, this, and when they ask you a question, you'll be like, no, yeah, no, my friend did it. No, if your friend did it, then let your friend mention about it. You don't mention about it. Be very frank and genuine when writing things in your resume. It's okay. You need not have 4 or 5 pages of resume filled with all the details and also the projects which you have not worked on. Even if it's crisp and clear, and if it's a 1 page or a 2 page also, it's okay, but make sure it's genuine. And even when you write the objective, right, you should be aware of what you have written there. So you shouldn't copy just the objective from Google and paste it there. So what you have to do is, the objective should be what you are looking for. For example, if you ask me, I'm looking to or work in an organization where I can learn and grow. That's it. That's my objective. So if you find some interviewer who's like very strict or kind, he might tell you, okay, you have written this objective, can you just tell it to me again? So then you can't just sit and think what you have written there, right? So make sure your objective is what you are looking for in any job. So this is about the resume, which is very important for you guys when you're going for your placements. And if you still have doubt on what you have written, get it reviewed with your seniors or with your friends who are good at it, or with your lecturers. So get it reviewed and make sure it's true, whatever you write in there. Now, coming to the next important point, updating your job sites profile in your job sites. So I have mentioned few. Again, you might know many more than this. So Naukri, Shine, Angel, Monster, Indeed, LinkedIn. These are the few sites which I usually keep using for updating my profile. Even I had a profile when I was in my final year. And also I got calls, and also I went for few interviews which I couldn't crack. But it's very important to have a updated profile. So what happens in Naukri is, when they are looking for any candidate, be it fresher or experienced, some recruiters, even we do that, some recruiters, they see which profile is the updated one. For example, if I have made some changes day before, it will show this candidate, like the profile is profile was updated 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So the recruiter will know that, okay, this person is actively looking for a job and they'll be picked. So make sure having a updated profile is very important. Yeah, that's all about this. Let me stop again. Do you guys have any doubt?
I don't think, Divya, because you have clearly mentioned very informative
Yeah.
slide. Yeah.
But again, guys, feel free to ask. I may not talk to you again for some time, but I'll try to visit the college if I come. But take it as an opportunity. I can just share with you whatever I know. Because I have worked almost 5 years. So just don't feel shy. I'm your friend, a senior. So just feel free to ask. I'll again, we'll have a Q&A session at the end again. So let me move to the next slide. Okay, where it tells about network. So yes, so many things you know now, how to be good, what are important. Yes. Now, what does this network mean? Network is nothing but being connected with your friends. So what happens is, when you go out of the college, it happens. You lose the contact, right? I mean, you can't be friends with everybody whom you know in the college. So you lose the contact, and then it's done. Like, you might be connected in WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. Yes, it remains. Even that is a form of network. You can reach out to anybody through that as well. But let me tell you a few advantages of having the network. So know about the opportunities. If you are working, or if you are just a college grad, there are many internship opportunities given in the companies. So if you are in touch with any of your seniors who are in the IT, you can just talk to them and tell you are looking for an internship or a job. So if there is some opportunity like that, they can just come back to you and tell, okay, there is this opening available. Would you like to like apply for it? So you can know about the opportunities if you are connected with your friends and seniors. Then helps to make a better choice for your career. So this point I have added because it is true in my case. So when I was switching from Accenture to Xylem, I had two offers in my hand. One was a Xylem, which I joined, and one more company, which I was not sure whether I should go there or not. So what I did, I just spoke to few folks who are working there and asked them how is the company. So they told me like what are the work timings and how the culture is. So then I thought, no, okay, this is not the one that I'm looking for. So I opted Xylem. Now again, when I said the company name, I'm sure none of you would have heard about it. Even I didn't hear when I got hired. So you think again, right? Like Accenture, Infosys, Cognizant, Capgemini, Google, yes, very famous. Everybody knows it's good. You join. But when it comes to companies where you haven't heard the name, so you'll get confused. Like, what if they fire me later? I mean, what if it's not good? So what I did, I took I reached out to few folks who are working there through LinkedIn, and random people. Like I just searched in LinkedIn Xylem Bangalore. There were a list of people who were working there with their designation. So I just pinged the people who were relevant to my profile, that is Xamarin and other Java. So I just asked them, this is what my name is so and so. I got an offer from Xylem and for this role. So as it's new to me, I just want to know how is the office and how is the culture. So I can say that you just throw the stone, and if it falls, if the fruit falls down, yes, you are lucky. So in my case, it happened. Only one person responded, and he was very helpful. So after that, when he replied, I kept on bugging him with all the questions like, how is the food, how are the people, how are the managers, and he replied for everything very like frankly. So then I thought, okay, it's a good choice that I made, and I joined it. And when I joined it, believe me, it's true what he said, because nobody will be willing to lie about a company he's working, right? So that's a way you can choose your career. You got an offer, you're confused whether to go there or not. Talk to people who are working there, get to know, and then you can make a better decision. Now, exchange of ideas. So this helps when, for example, I am stuck in a bug or error which I don't know how to solve. I mean, I might be trying it since days. So I can just reach out to my friends who are in other companies doing the same, like developing same apps in the same technology. I can just reach out to them and ask, okay, dude, this is the like question I have. I'm stuck there. So did you face this? Like at least there will be one or two people who could help you, who were there when you were struggling, and they might have fixed it. So it really helps. The next, pay it forward. Now you took help from your seniors, it's your job to help your juniors. Like you can pass it on, your knowledge to them, or if you have any openings in your company, or your company is looking for some freshers, you can just refer your junior as well. And learning opportunities, as I said, uh, I am a mobile developer, but I am willing to move to web technology. Like I want to build a solid web application. So currently, I'm like going on doing some courses. But again, it's not that if I just do courses, I know what is needed, right? So I keep on talking to my friends who are actually working in web technology and understand what's the need, like what I should know, what are the important concepts that is important to move to a web technology. There is a lot of learning, so make sure you have a good network around yourself with the people. It shouldn't be something just like you go on Instagram, like the picture, and yeah, that's it, no, done. So make sure you take helps in this way as well. Now, next is how to build network. I have already covered it. So WhatsApp, Instagram, yes, it's a form, but when you take it professionally, right? So LinkedIn is a best site. I mean, best place where you can have a network. So as I said, I pinged some random person from Xylem. You should be very professional when you talk. I mean, you can't just go ahead and blabber like you're talking to a friend. Make sure it's very professional, and you have a very professional profile of LinkedIn. Not that some like crazy quotes written in your profile, and no. So have a very professional profile with all the necessary details which are to be mentioned, like your college, and maybe you can also put on your resume. If you're looking for a job, you can mention that as well. So LinkedIn helps a lot. I mean, LinkedIn is a very good place to have a professional kind of network. If you want, you can follow me also in LinkedIn. Like if you just type Divya Kamath Xylem, you'll find me. So have a network, guys. It's very important. You may not know it now, but when you go ahead, right, you will understand how important it is. And next, the next picture you can see, I can just tell that the person on the right is some junior with so much doubts, and he's approaching a senior or someone who's elder than him for the like for some knowledge or for some doubts he has. So reach out to your seniors or your lecturers or anybody whom you know, who know better than you in the industry perspective. And don't feel hesitated. I mean, you might think, right, I haven't texted this person since years, why should I go now and ask? It's okay, fine. If they reply, it's good. If not, it's totally fine. Approach the other one. So but make sure you clarify your doubts before you make any decisions. So that is about building the network. Now, yeah, this is one quote which I really liked. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Yes, I mean, there are no shortcuts. Trust me. With the coming days, it's again going to be a little bit difficult to, I mean, to get into a company where you actually want to go, because there will be so many competitions. But make sure you're there. So take one step ahead, be one step ahead, take a step right away, it's okay. It's never too late. You have enough time. So that's it. I had to say thank you. And this is one of my favorite picture from my trainer job, which I thought I will include in this presentation. So I was a batch owner there. Batch owner is nothing but like your class teacher whom you approach for your leaves and other stuff. So as a batch owner for this particular batch, and in this there are some 5 to 6 people who are Nitya juniors. You may not know them. So yes, this is you can see me here in between. So this is me who was a trainer. But yeah, nobody would think that I was a trainer because I look like a student as well. So this is one of my favorite pick. I mean, also it was a last batch. After that, I moved to the project. So I thought I'll include it here in the presentation. Now let me just quickly show you a very quick demo. Before that, guys, do you have any doubts on what I said? Or uh,
Guys, feel free to ask.
yes,
Think she is just your senior. Okay,
yeah,
you can ask any doubts, and she is the person who was in training, so she knows what exactly companies are looking from a candidate. Also, she has technical experience, so how you can prepare technically, that also she can help you to know.
Also, as she has already mentioned, she is a part of the interview panel also.
Think she is your HR, whichever company you're going to interview, which
and I'm very
three
sweet.
final years.
Yeah, I'm very sweet. I mean, I'm not rude or something, but I'll only hire if a person is, I mean, technically good, obviously. But yeah, feel free to ask, guys. Not even a question, one question. You guys are already there on the top.
And as she said, she was there in Infosys training for thousands of people, and even your seniors who were graduated, when they went for their training or induction in Mysore campus, she was the one who was part of the training sessions there. Okay, so why all this is, you should understand the current scenario and upgrade yourself and
Yes,
ask all possible doubts.
yes.
Days ahead are not as easy as it was earlier.
Yeah, if just to add on, if you guys don't know, I mean, Uber has fired its 3,500 employees. Many other companies are trying to fire their employees. So what happens is, recently in one company, I don't exactly remember the name. So they were going for a mass layoff. Mass layoff is like you almost fire some 5 to 6 thousand of people. The reason why they did it was those 5 to 6 thousand people couldn't be scaled up. I mean, their technology and their knowledge was so old that they were not knowing something new which was useful, and they couldn't be trained as well because it was already late. So that was the reason that the company gave to like lay off so many of them. But please don't be that. I mean, don't be those people who can't scale up themselves. Make sure if something new is coming, you are ready to learn,
Yeah.
because company doesn't care. Yeah, company doesn't care if you're and don't call me ma'am, I'm Divya. I'll Okay. And
Yeah,
yeah, if you have any questions,
yeah,
if
Divya,
you are
something
hesitated,
is there in the
There's
chat,
one
I guess.
question.
yeah,
One
if
question
you
is there in the chat.
yeah, if you are hesitated to talk, please post it in the chat. What's the scope of Node.js developer in Yes, Node.js, it's also there. I mean, I can say like you have Angular. For Angular, again, you should know this Node also, right? So yes, Node.js, it's good if you're learning it very well. But make sure you have some solid proof to show that you are good at it. Web
Uh, Di-
developer, yeah,
Divya,
yes,
they have
Yeah.
internship, industry internship.
okay,
So you can ask them or suggest them some areas where they can do actually, because
okay,
most of the people what they do is they are doing something like PHP or mobile application, which is already part of their curriculum.
okay,
So
okay,
from the our side, we are suggesting whoever is asking that don't study the same thing again
yeah,
and again. So
yes,
instead of that,
exactly.
try to learn something new, which might be helpful for you in future.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
can give some
Somebody,
inputs on that. Yeah.
yeah, somebody has asked web developer. Yes, web you have very good scope, but if you know HTML, CSS, most of the companies are not using it. I mean, it's gone. I mean, CSS, yes, it's being used. JS is the, like, I can say it's a dad of all the other React and Angular, but there are new things coming up. I mean, go ahead and learn something React or Angular, which is web development. I know my juniors who are still in college and they are doing their internship in this web development, and he's working on React. So as I said, I was approaching people who know web. So I spoke to him. He's my junior in fourth year, not in ITE. So he told me that he's currently working in React. So yeah, web developer has a scope. And then is good for web development? ASP.NET, yes, I can say, but there are new things also. If you know ASP.NET and if you know C Sharp, yes, it's very good. But guys, as Sir said, just don't stick to your curriculum. Know more about it. If you take C Sharp, right, do a certification. Maybe it just costs some 4,500 rupees. So in Microsoft, you can just Google, so many certifications are there. You can do a basic C Sharp programming certification where you can you can get certified, and you can tell your company that okay, you are a certified C Sharp uh, uh, candidate. We might have done many projects or different fields, but adding which one to the resume would make an impact. Okay, as I mentioned, resume is something which you know. If you have worked on everything and if you know every bits and pieces of what you have mentioned, yes. But if you have built a project like to do application, something like that, which is very basic, just don't add it. I mean, add something which makes an impact. Like during my final year, we had worked on some microcontroller with web and app related projects. So add something which actually is important and which you can understand, right? I mean, which is which adds a weight. So if you have,
Prioritize basically, right?
yeah, prioritize, mention the ones that are best on the top, and on below you can just write worked on many mini projects using these technologies. So if the interviewer get curious, he'll ask you, okay, you have mentioned many mini projects, can you mention what is the, like, what is the technology used? And yeah, in resume, make sure it's very crisp. I mean, you mention the technology used, the project name, and 2 or 3 lines only about the project, like what it is. Okay.
Okay,
And apart from,
Divya, I have one question now.
yeah,
Actually, now there are some students who are very much concentrated with the, say, suppose only machine learning or
okay,
only web. So
okay.
now, how would this impact on their placements? Yeah,
No,
because companies, there are cases where they take these such students, and
hmm.
there are cases where they do not recruit such students because they are specialized only in one field.
No, no, ma'am. Like that's what they should know. What is there in their curriculum? First thing, when a company is
Yeah.
coming to hire college grads, right? The first question, I mean, all the most of the question that you get is on DS, C Sharp, which you already had it. So that's very important to know your curriculum. With that, what extra thing they are doing? Yeah, it's an add-on.
Okay.
So if they're coming to a college, means obviously, ma'am, like they'll first look for what he has learned in his curriculum, and this ML and what other things he's doing. It's an add-on to it, and they'll be happy to know that the candidate also knows something apart from that.
Yeah, but do you think that they need to know bits and pieces of all the updated things, or is it sufficient like only one stream would be enough?
No, not as I said. I mean, you should have a broad knowledge, but not
Yeah.
in depth. You can go in one, but be updated. Like for example, if I say Angular, I don't know if you might have known. Like Angular started with 1, then it came to,
Hmm.
now it's already 8 or 9. I mean, 8 is almost stable, and 9 also it's coming. So
Okay.
if the person says, okay, I know Angular 1, it's gone. I mean, it's completely gone. Like it's not being used anymore. I mean, rarely people are using Angular 1. It's completely changed when it came Angular 2 and 4 and 8.
Hmm.
So those things they should know. I mean,
Yes. So, guys, basically the basic foundation should be strengthened. That's very important.
Yeah, there are few other queries, I guess, Divya.
Yeah, I think she'll come back.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a power cut. I just connected again.
Yeah. Fine. Fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go to the next question. Even Dart language has the same trend as Xamarin. Dart, I have not heard much, so I wouldn't like to comment. But Xamarin, if you ask me, Kavya, I mean, as I said, most of the companies are looking to hire cross-platform person than individual developer. But I won't say there is no scope for Android or iOS developer as well. Some companies want it. Xamarin comes into picture when your application is simple and you're just wishing to, I mean, have it in two platform like Android and iOS. But if there are so many in-depth changes, like you're specifically willing to have changes for platform, Android and Angular, Android and iOS is also in demand. But that I have not heard so far, so I'm not sure.
Okay. There's one more previous to that from
Yeah.
Maz Ahmed. Apart from mean stack, do we have to master it? There's one above Kavya. Okay.
Ma'am, we might have done many projects. No,
Mean.
mean stack.
Yeah.
Mean stack. Do we have to master it? Um,
Other than that, any other scopes other than mean stack, which they have to master if they have to focus into something.
I mean stack. You have it in curriculum or something?
No, no, no.
No,
It
no,
is
no,
his
no.
interest.
It's interest.
Their
Oh,
expertise. They are learning it with
okay,
interest.
yeah. Mean stack. Yes, it's good if you know. But apart from that, I would say just have the knowledge on what are other things available. For example, if a recruiter comes and says, okay, you have worked on mean stack, but I have this other technology which we are using. So are you comfortable learning it? Then you can say, yeah, I mean, I'm aware of Angular, but I didn't get very good chance to work on it. But yeah, I'm able to, I mean, I'm ready to scale up. So if you say that right, I mean, it will be convincing that even if you know this, you are able to adapt for the new ones as well. So always be ready to say no, like, mean stack good, but know what are the other options there. So if a recruiter is coming and looking for a candidate for a specific role, he'll be happy to take, I mean, hire you. Then next, use developing Android app using Ionic. I It was Ionic for I remember it. I mean, knowing about it when I was in trainer, because we were also looking for this React Native. Even that is one of the cross-platform app development. But see, it depends on what support they give, right? Like Xamarin, once Microsoft acquired it, Microsoft is so huge that it's giving all the native support. I mean, for Android and iOS, Microsoft is supplying so many native support that it's forcing people to use Xamarin. But Ionic and React Native, Flutter, in that case, if you take, even that is a cross platform, it has its own drawbacks. I mean, there are not all the libraries and uh, free accessibilities available as much as Xamarin. And hope, Sharadi, I was clear in answering your question. And apart from native Android development, what's the scope for mobile dev framework like React Native? Yeah, Flutter. I said Flutter. I don't see many jobs coming up because it's very new, right? I mean, you will trust a technology which is stable almost. So React Native, yes, it is there, but again, the library support for Xamarin is very huge after Microsoft acquired it. So I'll just show you a quick demo after all this Q&A. I mean, I'll just create a sample project and maybe I'll run it in both Android and iOS and show it to you. But Flutter, I would say it's very new. I mean, it's not much stable, and I would suggest go for something else than Flutter. Is it important to put the project in GitHub? Kavya, it's very good if you have your projects in GitHub. And so what happens is, one of my own friend, he was working in some technologies like web or so, but he was interested in AI. So what he did is he built his own projects on AI. Like this VLC player, right? So what he did, he added an enhancement to that. Depending on the previous history, it used to suggest him what movies he can watch next, depending on the genre that he has watched. So what I did, he just, and this was not some app he built for the company. So he had just put it in a GitHub. And in his resume he mentioned that this is the GitHub link and of this project. So and you won't believe he's completely moved to AI and ML now. I mean, that's how you do it. You put your effort, but make sure it's there somewhere. And GitHub is a very good place. So in your resume, you can mention the GitHub link of your project and briefly explain what it does. Even in the GitHub page, make sure in the README file you just tell what are the steps or how can they download, how can they use it. It will just help you a lot. Um, Okay, I meant what else technologies are as used except React and Node.js? Yeah, Angular is one, but React, you know, it's very good. React and Angular both are trending in web development these days. I mean, we have so many in my own company. We have so many candidates in Angular, but now they are looking for React, but it's very hard to find people. So apart from React and Node.js, yes, Angular, I would say. During this pandemic, if anyone has to work on a project in particular field, where do we have to check? Kavya, can you just explain? I mean, what does it mean, work on a project as in? And I'll just go to next question, Kavya. You can just reframe it. If someone is interested in networking, what recent technologies will be useful for them? Networking, I'm not completely sure. It's completely new field for me. I mean, I have never.
There are Cisco and other certifications, Arunima.
Yes.
You can look into that because always Cisco certification will be uh, appreciated by the network related companies. You can try out such things.
Yes, it's Cisco again. If you are placed in Cisco, I mean, Cisco is a very good company. So, and Anurima, if you have more doubts, maybe you can just go and search or reach out to someone in your senior or somewhere who know about networking
Even
and
SAP has some courses related to network
networking.
virtualization and other things.
Yes.
You can look into such things.
Then web development, should I learn ML? See, ML is something which might be used anywhere, right? I mean, AI, ML, if you're building a web app and if you are planning to have some chatbot which does the chatting using AI and ML, yes, it's an add-on. So if you know web development and if you want to learn ML and add enhancement to it, it's good, Shripada. I mean, it's a very good thing to do. But think how you can make it. I mean, don't try to make very complex and then you end up doing nothing, but try with these simple things like suppose if you have a web, you are using a chat bot where a person can respond depending on the questions that you ask. I mean, it's completely AI and ML there.
And
So
since they're aware of the Python, I think libraries are there to explore much into both.
yes, Python has a very good scope. I mean, I see many people learning Python and scaling up. So you can use Python, this other frameworks related that also for web backend as well. If you want to work on some project to implement what we learned and don't know how to start on it. Okay. Um, First thing is, if you know the technology, just have briefly written what you want to do. For example, I have a plan. When I learn this web technology, I'm planning to have a website where people can just upload their projects and reusable component, I can say. I mean, in our mobile app, there are so many things which we build which can be reused across the company, right? So I am planning to build an app which will be helpful for my company where where these reusable components can be placed. So I know what needs to be done, right? Now the next step going ahead is I'll just write a architecture. I mean, what is needed, in which page I want to show what. So Kavya, if you want the ideas, Google is there always, or else if not, maybe you can talk to your lecturers and you can decide like what you want to do, but ideas it should be from yourself, I believe. If not, Google it and look into some projects which are already there and see how you can improvise it. For example, I was looking for one app to track the goals, and all the apps that I found in the Play Store were like very or else too flashy, or it was very boring. And I thought, okay, if I get time sometime, I might build some app like that where a person can actually track his goals and see where he is and how many days extra it will take to complete this. So these are some of the ideas that I came up myself seeing the situation. Hope I was clear. And do you look into any extra? Yes, extracurricular. Yes, I mean most of the recruiters do it. I mean, don't
Yeah.
worry. It's not that you should have everything. I mean, you should be having so many things written in your resume. But you can, even if you have a hobby of singing or playing guitar, and if you're good at it, you can just mention it. I mean, yeah, this is what I do in extra time, and yeah, it's fine. But be a part of something, not just learning something and being in the class all the time doing your assignments. No, go out, take up some organization thing, and within your branch organize something. Even that, if you do right, you can add it in your resume, and it's very helpful. So
Yes.
as yeah, yes ma'am.
No, no, continue, continue.
Yeah, as Lam said, I was very active during college. I mean, I was interested in organizing new things. But then when I moved to company, I was hesitant. Will that be able to do it here also? But in Accenture, we had this fun committee called My Passion, where we gave people chance to, I mean, exhibit their talent. So I was a part of organizing that as well. So, and if you go to any company and if you see it's boring, you don't have anything there, you can start something. In Xylem, as I said, it's a very small company with 180 people. It's just a floor of a company. So I am a part of fun committee where we plan something and organize. So I'm known to people who are higher level. Okay, Divya Kamath, you have organized this quiz on Republic Day, right? Can you do it for this also? So they'll reach out to you. It's always helpful. I mean, having extracurricular is a growth for yourself as well.
Yeah, see, those extracurricular activities exhibit your leadership skills, adaptability. So there are various things which we look into when you say that this is the extracurricular activity, what we have done.
Yes.
So even those are the qualities you should have. It's not just academic knowledge.
It also ensures them that you are a team player. Tomorrow you
Yeah.
can work with any team.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you only exhibit extracurricular activities and nothing in academics.
That is true. I mean, you won't be obviously hired for all the extracurricular that activities that you have, but with your domain knowledge, I mean, with your curriculum knowledge, this is just an add-on. I mean, it will just add on. Okay, the person will, and if you're cheerful and while you're talking, you're making good eye contact, and those things will add up. I mean, any recruiter will look for someone who can bring something good in the company, right? So if you can do that, it's very good. But make sure it shouldn't be your first priority, and you ignore all your studies for that.
Can you tell
Um,
briefly about resume, like how it should be?
yeah. A resume, see, now when I'm experienced, I have two forms of resume. One is one page, and the other one is brief. Uh, so for you guys, you can have a brief one because it's important as you are just starting your career. So what you can do is, the first point again, it's like your name, and don't worry if you have some 10 lines of address, you need not mention it. You can just write a brief, I mean, just a house number or something like that, and make sure those details, personal details, come in the end. So if I have a resume, I can just show it. I mean, it can be very brief. Just give me a second. I'll see for a resume if I have. Okay, or else, just give me a second. I'll send it to myself. So let me tell about it. Um, First thing should be your objective. I mean, what you're looking for, and then mention about your skills, technology that you have worked on, or the ID that you are good at. Like you know how to operate on Visual Studio, Android Studio, or any other ID that you know, and also scripting language if you know something. So the next part would be uh, the projects. Okay, in brief, the project that you have worked on. Don't write everything. I mean, don't make it like very big para with all the details. Let the recruiter read it and ask you questions on it. I mean, give that chance. If you explain your entire project in the resume, I mean, he just has to read, right? And no interviewer will be interested in reading what's there in the resume. Actually, they'll expect you to tell about it. So even when they ask you tell me about yourself. You can just brief about your self first, and then brief about your projects, so that if he gets interested, he'll ask you more questions on it. Okay, you have done this, right? I mean, how did you do it? What are the challenges that you faced? Something like that. uh, yeah. Mm, I'll just show my resume, but before that, to what extent will hiring be affected in the current scenario? um, Shashwat, I can say for freshers, I hope there should not be much impact, because what happens is for laterals, when you're switching from one company to other, they have to pay more, right? So those might stop. I mean, they might hire juniors or freshers, they might train them, and because freshers' salary will always be lesser than the uh, if they have to recruit some laterals, right? So, but again, I'm not sure how bad it might impact, but be prepared, guys. I mean, know something more, and just don't think that you will get a easily job in Infosys, Accenture, or any other company, if not any core company, and you can be happy with it. So make sure you adapt according to the current scenario. But let's hope everything will go fine. I mean, with when you guys come to final year, I mean, when the recruitment actually starts, let's hope things go fine. If not, just don't lose hopes. Keep trying within the campus, yes, and also from, as I said, mentioned about the job portals. You can try out for jobs, applying for jobs there as well. But yeah, it's gonna affect a little, yes, but to what extent to freshers we can't say. But make sure you're prepared. Yeah, I'll just show a quick project how we can create in Xamarin. So it's a Visual Studio, and yeah, if you have a Mac, you can have Visual Studio for Mac, where you can build both iOS as well as Android. And if you have Windows, yes, you can have Visual Studio there as well, but you can only try to deploy apps in Android. So you can just go for a new project, and here under uh, and how to install this. Again, there is a guide like Xamarin install. Just you'll get a Microsoft guide on complete details regarding installation for both Windows as well as uh, Mac. So you just have to check on this particular thing, mobile development with .NET. So while installing Visual Studio, you might have come across this option and you might have skipped it, but this is a part which is needed to develop mobile apps. So I'll just select a tab form app, which you can see. I mean, if I select blank, it will be completely blank. So let me have some pre-cooked codes so that you can see it. I'll just write demo. You can check the platform as well. If you don't want it for iOS or Android, you can just check it. And yeah, just create. This is I feel you guys can learn it because you know C sharp anyways, right? I mean, C sharp is there in your curriculum. So if you just go ahead and do a little bit, some projects also in this, it's really cool. So let me show you a code. I mean, not in depth, but you can see it's exactly how you do it in your C sharp. You have setter, getter, and you have this public. Other, it's exactly like you mean the language used is C sharp. See if you can see here. It's complete C sharp, but the view that you see, it's the front end that is used is XAML. Even that is like HTML you have, right? Closing, opening tags. Similarly, like this, we have it here. I'll just run it. The speciality of Android, it adapts according to the platform. I mean, I need not worry if I'm just adding a button, right? How it has to look in Android and how it has to look in iOS. It's completely handled by Xamarin. If you have used both the phones, you might know. I mean, there is a lot of difference in the UI, right? When it comes to iOS and Android. I mean, iOS doesn't have this back button and all those stuff. So all those are taken care by Xamarin. It decides which platform it's running on, and then accordingly it will render the UI. Do we have any other question?
Yeah, Divya, other thing is
Yeah.
uh, they have part of their curriculum something about aptitude and all, and but you know
Okay.
that first thing that everyone gets scared is to clear the first
Aptitude. Yeah.
round, how to crack the first round.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is always a puzzle. Every year it's the same pattern, but
Yeah.
how they can prepare best. Obviously, results are not in our hand, but how they
Yeah.
can prepare best.
Okay.
Do
So
do something on that.
okay, so coming to aptitude, guys, it's very important, not just for you freshers, but even for us. I mean, some of the companies have still have aptitude test for the laterals as well. So, see, know the concepts. I mean, you might be referring to this R.S. Agarwal or some other books, right? So, know the concepts. If a percentage related questions are given, make sure you know how to solve them. If a chart related questions are given, make sure you know how to solve them. So I would say go ahead. I mean, take online tests. There are many free online tests available for aptitude, and practice yourself very well, because practice makes you perfect. And again, as sir said, it's totally luck how it comes in your aptitude exam when the company recruits, but there is no harm in preparing, right? So take online test. If you just go to Google and type online aptitude test, you'll get n number of tests. So make sure you don't look at the answer and then try to solve. First solve it. Set the time. I mean, see 1 hour or 30 minutes how many questions are there, and then accordingly you can ace it up. But make sure you don't completely focus on that as well, because some companies aptitude will be very easy to clear. I mean, it will be more like use your common sense kind of questions. So don't completely dedicate all your 100% into aptitude only, but at least 20 to 30% have a knowledge on the aptitude as well.
Yeah, and with all these things, guys, communication is also very important.
Yes, it's very important. Communication is important throughout. I mean, it's needed all the time.
Yeah, I
And
know Divya as a student, of course, communication wise, no problems at all.
Yeah, other thing is you people are
that's why I
hesitant.
would say,
Many are hesitant to
yes,
go.
exactly. I noticed that now.
See, in the
Yeah.
chat they're ready to ask
So
doubts, but they're not ready to ask directly.
exactly. It's okay, guys. You
Starting
can
problem.
talk. I mean, you can speak. Yeah, there's no problem. I mean, you won't be judged, right? So, and I remember, sir, during my job, I mean, our college placement time, there was one company, VMware, where they actually shortlisted and hired a person who was actually
Yes.
asking questions during the
Ah,
placement talks.
yeah, I know.
So happened that I was not so good. I mean, yeah, communication I didn't have problem back then. Maybe my trainer experience made me talk
Feel
like this
better.
now. But back then, yeah, but back then, yeah, I was hesitant like you guys. I mean, I was scared. What if my English goes wrong? What if I say some wrong words? But there was this girl who was very good in communication. I mean, for her, it was just like normal talking which we do. So she was asking so many questions during the placement talk, and guess what? She was actually hired in the end. I mean, they see all these qualities as well. So make sure if you have doubts, don't feel hesitant to, I mean, keep it to yourself. It's okay if your English is wrong, but at least try to ask. I mean, if you can't convey it, it's fine. You can rephrase it later, but make sure you speak up. That's very important. Even now, I was expecting I would get some questions. I mean, I was like all prepared, like, okay, these if these questions come, I can answer all these. But I see you guys are very quiet, but in the chat, yes, you opened up. This, you can take it as an opportunity, I guess. I mean, just to talk. Talking to your friends is different than talking to someone whom you don't know. I mean, as of now, you don't know me, right? So maybe that's why you're hesitant. But feel free to talk and that, especially when person is asking, do you have any doubts? And if you have some, make sure you ask it out. This happens in a company as well. Even now, when they hire you, right, they'll ask you, do you have any questions for me? So make sure you at least have some questions, do some background research on their company. For example, if Xylem is coming to your company, you don't know what Xylem does, right? So you can just ask, okay, Xylem is, I read about it in Google that Xylem does this, but the questions that I had was, do they have something in Bangalore here? Because Bangalore has so much of water problems. So that's what I asked them, like, do you have any plant set up here? Do you have anything which can work out here? He was like, no, we are happy to help you. Once you are on board, maybe we can think of doing something here. So see, it's fine if you get the job or not, but make sure you make that impact. I mean, you leave that impact on the interviewer that, okay, you are interested in their company. So make sure for any interview you're going, you know about the company, and you ask at least one question on what they are doing or what scope you have in their company.
And also they need to practice about what to introduce about themselves, to speak
Yeah,
something about themselves. That is where first chance to market themselves, because
exactly.
how they
So
present themselves makes the difference.
yeah, the question, tell me about yourself, is where you'll be judged almost for few minutes. But again, I have been in interview where this question, yeah, people didn't do well, but later on, yes, they could answer well. But it's a first impression. Matlab, I will be interested more in knowing you if you give me a very good description of yourself. So and again, you need not write it out and practice what you will be telling when they tell you, tell me about yourself, but make a note. I mean, okay, first let me tell about myself, my hobbies, then my families, then maybe the courses that I have done. And also and it should be brief. I mean, just go on talking and talking so that the interviewer gets bored. Leave something for him to ask you back. So that is one point which, yeah, it's very important. And I hope this talk was helpful for you guys. I mean, as I said, I'm not some speaker or something, but I thought this was an opportunity where I could help you guys. And as I said, if I visit Mangalore, I'll surely try to come to college. And again, if maybe, I at least hope you guys will ask some doubts there. But I hope it was helpful for you in some ways at least.
Yeah, of course, I believe. Yeah, meanwhile, there is one more alumni was joined.
Vedaj, right?
Yeah, Vedaj. I hope you're there.
Vedaj,
I'm
are you
here.
there?
Hello. Hi,
Hi,
hi.
hi. I
Ah,
was, I was.
I'm here, but I will not be able to take questions today. It's going to take a long time, and I think Divya had spoken for a long time. Maybe we can do it another day.
yeah.
That's what we are
Uh,
scheduling.
No, we would
yeah.
be scheduling. We are planning to schedule an alumni talk every Saturday.
Oh, great.
So maybe some other Saturday we would like to have a session from Vedaj also. Vedaj is again was an active student.
Technically, as well as
Mm,
Yes.
Technically,
all these your
Divya
interior
was
stuffs back when he
okay.
used to work.
Divya and I have worked a lot together
Yeah.
for a lot of programs and things like that.
Yeah.
Even today, you
In
are
fact, we were
together.
both part of the computer society.
Yeah. And I used to feel free to go and bug Vedaj, Vedaj this, Vedaj that, Vedaj this. Yeah. Like even now, if I have
Yeah, she
something,
used
I
to be
can.
a lot of trouble, and she used to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's
Never
right.
mind. Even you gave troubles to faculty.
Yeah, it was other way
So
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
Anyway,
Vedaj is currently pursuing his higher studies.
that's what I told him. Like you can speak about higher study and other things,
Yeah. So
because
we
along with
would be
technical
having
things,
shortly.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
edit
share
your
the
talk
schedule soon.
shortly.
Yeah.
sure, sure.
Divya, anything else you'd like to share? And
Uh,
maybe if required, we can have one more session if they demand. Okay.
yes. If
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
demand, and if they want to know about Xamarin, I would
And
be
yeah,
happy to.
you have done some mini project kind of things. Like see if maybe June also things continue and no college opens, we
Yes.
can even do some project based learning kind of thing.
Yes.
Maybe on
Exactly.
weekends, maybe on
Yeah.
Hmm.
weekends, so
Yes.
that
Yes.
they can add up in their resume also. They have done something
Yeah.
real
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
So, guys, as I said, feel free to talk and reach out to people. It's okay if you bug them, but make sure you speak up. That's very important.
Yeah,
So
guys, see, those who are passed out 5 years, 6 years, they are coming and speaking up for you people for your benefit. So at least now you should realize you should wake up and speak up more and more open up, because you are the one who are going to face the world now. These people have seen it. So you
yeah.
have to take their experience, how to go ahead. Yeah.
So yes. Okay. Okay then.
Then, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
it.
I think we are done.
Yeah.
So thank you, Divya. Thank you for such an informative talk. And we are happy that our alumni is giving a talk to our juniors. That is the most precious or happy moment for us, because having someone external, someone who was not connected to college, and someone who is very close to us, having a talk is very much good.
And also, we feel our department strength is our students.
Yeah,
Those
of
who are
course.
there, those who are already graduated.
And
Okay.
alumni are the biggest strength for our
Yeah.
department as well as our college.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
thank you guys, thank you everyone for attending it.
And hope to see you soon. As you said, once you are back, once things are fine, once you come back this side, please do
Yes.
visit the college.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I'll meet
Yeah.
and yes. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. But yeah, you have to know all these things. So I just made it very brief. And please feel free to reach out. As I said, you can reach out to me through LinkedIn, or you can take my email ID from ma'am. And but feel free to reach out, because we are there to help. I mean, we are there to help
They
our
are
juniors.
always there to help. They are
Yes.
always there to help. Only thing is, you
Yeah.
people have to ask them. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. And yeah, all the best. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir,
you.
for the
Thank you.
opportunity. It was really great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
a lot
Thank
for
you.
sparing your weekend.
No, that's fine.
2 hours of your weekend, that's it. Rest of the time you're at home, no?
Yeah.
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 So thank you students for joining us, and as I've told you earlier, we would be continuing the alumni talk next Saturday also with another resource person, and we hope that you people join us to this alumni talk with greater strength
And
and
also
more number of
keep it
questions and
interactive. Ask
interactive.
more questions.
Okay, thank you all.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Divya.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
And sir, just to add, I
Yeah.
mean, they asked
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
resume, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if they want, we can have one session for that as well. I mean, just
Fine.
briefing
Fine.
what
Sure.
the
Sure.
resume should be.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Yeah, because someone asked me, but I couldn't show my resume. But yeah, I just briefed
That's
it,
what I
right?
said.
Yeah.
See, obviously, June also we have college might not open up for students,
Yes.
so we can have project-based learning that time. That time we
Yeah.
can surely share with them.
Yes,
Okay.
surely. Even resume and talking
Yeah.
skills, anything, we are there to
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Guys, feel free to
So
reach
let
out.
them put what they want also with us
Yes.
by then,
Yeah.
so that we can be more specific. We can cater their needs.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Fine.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Have a
Thank you,
nice
thank you,
day.
thank you, Divya.
Thanks.